Hello guys and welcome back to TNT Madness. Today we're going to be looking at one of my new favourite vaults and a new vault that I've created that I'm just simply going to call the Slime Vault. It is one of my favourite because it takes all the great aspects of like a regen vault and just like a regular vault and makes it extremely nice and convenient and a very small form factor. So with a regen vault you have normally just a flat wall with cobblestone that you have to break to open the chest. This one's the same thing really, except you just have slime blocks with water over top of it, so it is creeper egg unraidable, but then as soon as you flick the lever, the slime blocks get pushed 2 blocks forward, and then you can access all the chests without having to destroy any block, and then a lot of chests fit in a very small area, especially compared to a regen chest, and even it's on par with a basic vault, and even can outdo some basic vaults. So I think this is a really, really nice thing. So anyway, now let's have a look at it. So there are two versions of this vault that I've created. This first one, which is a 17 by 6 area where you fit in all your chests, that can fit a total of 60 chests inside it. And then for the whole total area, if we were to make this a wall of bedrock, then it would be a total of a 19 by 9 area at its tallest point and 6 in depth. So all the redstone around the back here is extremely compact, as well as the chests in this tiny, super nice area. And if we go ahead and flick the lever, then as you can see the water gets pushed forward and you can just walk inside of here and then go and access which chest you want. Every chest inside of here is accessible, and again there's a total of 60 double chests inside here. So the second one inside is a total of a 4 by 15 area, and it's the same principle except this one fits only 40 double chests instead of the regular 60. However, this one is a lot smaller in total volume by being only 17 across, 7 high, and of course still the 6 depth. So this one is a lot smaller if you need to fit it into a much smaller area. Still does the same thing, however, because slime blocks can hold up to 12 blocks, this one hole has a 3 wide area instead of the regular 2 wide area, so that way you can fit a lot more chests into the slightly lower space. Also, because of these two designs, you should be able to fit this into pretty much any base depending on your size that you want and the vaults that you want, and because you can expand this essentially infinitely, you can have this as big as you want or as small as you want. However, you can also do this as 5 long and 2 high. However, I don't think that is worth it, and it's a lot harder to place the water in. So that is the main concept of this, so now on to the redstone. One quick thing however, if you do want to look at more details on these vaults, there will be both a world download for these two, and there will also be a schematic for this design and the other design in the description below. Just be aware if you're placing the schematic, when you paste it, it will be pasted from you standing in this block. So here's a hollowed out version of the vault, and as you can see there is not much going on here. You really just have your chests, which are under the pistons, and of course some slabs so that way you can open up the very top chest. But all it really is just a little bit of redstone connecting up to all of these so they activate at the same time, and then a bunch of double piston extenders. So if you don't know, this is a basic double piston extender circuit. So if we go ahead and turn it on, as we can see, all the slime blocks are going to be pushed forward, and then we're going to have tons of space to actually access all the chests and walk around in there. But as you can see, it's just a super simple mechanism where this is pushing out the slime blocks and then you can pull them back. So because of this, it is super simple. You can fit it into a very small area, and when we get onto the tutorial, it won't be that hard to build. So that's really all that's going on here, nothing too fancy. So anyway, now let's get on to the tutorial. So to start off with the tutorial, we are going to be building the main design, and then I'm going to be showing you the difference between the second design they did and the main design, because there's only a few, however they are relatively similar. However, for this one is going to be a 6 by 19 as well as 9 high, so you're going to need a rather big area. And then this black glass and obsidian just represents a theoretical wall if you are building this in a vault or in your base somewhere. This emerald represents where your main chests and redstone is going to be going, as well as your slime blocks. The diamond represents where the water is going to be going, and the gold represents where the pressure plate is going to be going. And this coal just represents some space that you actually need to build on here. So this is just a good representation. The rest of the iron is you don't really need, so this can fit into a lot of spaces really easily. So anyway, what you're going to need is you're going to need some building blocks, you're going to need some slabs, mostly just so you can open the main chest at the top, and so you can do a slab staircase from when you're placing your lever. You're going to need a ton of immovable blocks. I recommend either obsidian, which if you're on a faction server shouldn't be too hard to get, either furnaces or droppers, which in my opinion look the best, or my personal favourite, just because it looks really cool and is fun, you could use melons, because you can also place redstone on top of them. You're also going to need 54 slime blocks for this particular design. Since we are going to have a total of 60 double chests, you're going to need 60 chests and 60 trap chests. You're going to need 12 sticky pistons, 34 redstone, 13 redstone repeaters, as well as 24 pressure plates, an infinite water source, and a lever. So of course the first thing you want to do is lay out everything and then go to the very back corner and of course just start placing down your chests. This is by far the easiest and most straightforward part. You just want to go ahead and place them 2x5 area like so, and then whatever you want to do in the middle here, these blocks really don't matter. You can use water, however if someone does somehow get in this area then they will be able to creeper egg it if you do use water, so I recommend using a solid block, or if you want to then glass. So after that you just want to keep on repeating this until you have 6 modules that are like this one here. So now we want to do the main double piston extenders, which are done in modules of 2. So if we go over here to the very edge here, we are going to go ahead and place down 2 sticky pistons facing outwards, and then we want to go to this other side and of course place 2 sticky pistons facing outwards as well. Then you want to go ahead and place slime blocks, 1 in front of it, and then just place the rest in front of your chest. However, if you don't want to put an immovable block down here, then you can go ahead and place some sort of other block, which I'm just going to use iron for this case, and then you want to do that for the other one. And because these are done in modules of 2, after we have built this part, you are just going to do this for the rest of your chests. So now that we've done that, we also want to go ahead and place upside down half slabs on here or some other immovable block like glowstone, and then we can go ahead and place some blocks on the front. The thing is, because we are placing blocks here, you're going to have to place immovable blocks on top of here, just so the slime blocks can actually move. It's one, if your slime blocks don't move at the end of the tutorial, or your pistons don't move, then be sure to check that there is a immovable block around every part where the slime block connects with anything. So anyway, now just building the basic extender. It's very simple. The back repeater you want to set to 2 ticks, the middle one set to 4, and then the end bit you want to set to a piece of redstone. Then place redstone on here and then just mirror the same thing on the other side. It's very simple, and then if you want to go ahead and check it really quickly, you can go ahead and grab your lever just to make sure that it works, and as you can see this works perfectly fine, and this is a really good sign that you're on the right track. So now you just want to repeat this module, and I would recommend placing in something like melons in this middle bit here, and then you can move on. So now that you've done that, it should look something like this, and what you want to do now is just go ahead and fill up the gaps in between here and here, and then we can actually start just connecting up the redstone. So there are a bunch of ways to actually connect up the redstone, but because you're likely going to be building this against a wall just so no one can actually go behind it trying to raid it if they somehow get into your vault, then what you want to do is go ahead and just destroy the very back blocks here, because we are going to be building it across the very back here. So what you want to do is place redstone on top of all these, and then we're just going to be placing a little bridge going over to each of these and then placing redstone on top of them. So now you have 2 choices, and my personal opinion is I want to make everything go off at once. However, because this redstone to this piece of redstone here is a total of 15, so that's when the redstone actually won't reach this very end bit, I just put a little repeater here to extend the signal so it can reach everything, and then we can just go ahead and drag it down to wherever your input's going to be. So what I'm just going to do is go ahead and bring it down along here, and then do a slab staircase all the way down to our input, which just because it's here we are going to make it go along here, and then you can place a lever on the front and redstone on top of all of this like so. This is also another good time to test to see if everything works, and as you can see for us it works absolutely perfectly. However, if you don't like the design of this being too close, you can bring it 1 or 2 or even 3 blocks forward depending on how you want to do it. However, now that we have done this, I would go ahead and recommend filling filling this up with the same sort of melon that we did before, and then we are going to be going ahead and making a little cone around it. So what I'm going to be doing is placing it along here, and if this is just, at the moment I've set it a barrier block, but if you did, you would place it along here, and then you would just go ahead and build the same thing going all the way along the top like so. This is just so it's a cover because you're going to have water inside it, and so that if again someone does come in here, they can't just blow up the edge of it. However, once you have done it, you are likely going to want to put some sort of water layer on top of here so they can't creeper egg behind here to get to your chests. So anyway, after you've done this, because we're going to be placing our water in these spots, you then want to make a little overhang that is going to be in the same positions that your immovable blocks are going to be in. And then we can just go ahead and simply place in all our water. However, because I don't want to make a mess everywhere, I'm going to be placing down my pressure plates first, which are just going to be in this gold pattern that I had said earlier, but essentially it's all the way along the front line and then an indent where your immovable block is, so that way it just makes it easier for you to walk in. So now you can go ahead and place down all of your water. I just prefer placing it down on the edges here, and then as you can see, it flows out nicely like so. And then as we can see, it works perfectly. So now we are pretty much done. If we go down and place a creeper down here and not get him to push out, if we try and make him explode, as you can see, it is unraidable from creeper eggs, at least from the front. So once you are done, what I'd recommend is either making this some sort of secret torch key or something, and then going ahead and placing water just along this general area, and then of course covering the top, and if you can, place water along the top of there. And since it's against the back wall, you won't really have to worry about that. So after you've done all that, it is a lot smaller than like a regen vault, however it is a lot more convenient as well, and you can fit a lot of chests into it. So I put a lot of time and effort into this video, so if you did enjoy it, then please hit that like button, and if you want to see more videos than this, then tell me in the comment section below. And I'm really interested in what you guys think of this vault, because it is a very interesting vault for me. However, I don't know how the community will react. I know I have a lot of friends on the server who are experienced with factions that actually really like this idea, so I'd like to hear your thoughts. But anyway, goodbye from TNT Madness.